So guys, how are you? Welcome back to my new video. So here we'll be showing you some of my favorite breakfasts. So here, as you can see, I'm like squeezing that fat lemon that won't squeeze because you have to stay hydrated. So here the first recipe is this banana pancakes. You first have to smash some bananas and then you have to add this quantity of flour to the smashed bananas. And once you have mixed it up, you can add multiple things, just like some almond butter or peanut butter. I think it's almost the same. And then you have to mix it up, and then you have to add some yogurt that, as you can see, is totally white. I added like 1 tablespoon or whatever, and then you mix that bitch up. And then once it's all mixed, you have to slap some oil in the pan and then put it all over the pan, because if not, the banana pancakes won't turn out good. And then you have to put some banana pancake mix on the pan. I usually put like 1 whole tablespoon or 2 or whatever, and then you let it cook. And you can also do the trick that usually French chefs do or whatever, so that you can be cool and think that you are cool, although you are not. So then once you have done that, you can just slap on that banana pancake some things like honey or maple syrup, I don't know. I put on it some maple syrup. I think it turned out pretty well, and my sister totally loved that. So here the second recipe is this quick breakfast that I usually do like when I wake up late on Saturdays, on Sundays or whatever. So here I'm using this Activia yogurt that has the oats in it in the package, you know what I mean? So once I put the oats in the yogurt, I can add multiple things so that the flavor will pop up. So usually I add some bananas because you have to put your fruit in your yogurt so that you can take your daily portion of fruit or whatever. So now we're adding some almonds and then walnuts. Then I added mile and then some honey, some chia seeds, and we're ready to start our day with a great breakfast. So hi, welcome back. Now we're doing some lunch and dinner recipes, and here, as you can see, I'm just washing my sweet potato, and now you'll see the rest of the recipe. So hi and welcome in this recipe
something.
So I'm here with my sweet potato, and as you can see, it's red, which is unusual but also very cool because I always had some
like grey potatoes that weren't really
aesthetic, but this one actually is.
Once we have washed it, you have to put around it some aluminum. You don't want to make a wrap that is completely closed. You want to put some air in this, so you don't have to close it very hard. And then you want to put some air in this potato.
So you can just do this.
I'm going to put also some cauliflower. I'm not gonna put much because it's already cooked, so I don't want to make some mistakes. I'm just gonna try. Here I was making my phone fall, so yeah. So here we are making a weird thing. We are just pouring some oil in this pan so that we can cook the turkey, as you can see. And then while it's cooking, also the rice is cooking. And you're putting it in a pan. So here I'm making some avocado. Here I don't think I should really explain something, but I'm basically just cutting it and then squishing that with a fork. Here, as you can see, we're just draining the rice.
So here I'm making the avocado sauce, so I'm putting some chili pepper, sesame seeds and chia seeds, and then some lemon, and then I mix it all up with a fork, and as you can see I'm just squeezing the avocado. Here basically we are making a sauce that my sister invented. You have to put some yogurt in it and then some salt. We used Himalayan salt, that's why it's like pink. And paprika and some seeds, random seeds. And then we're making some toasted bread, you know, with some oil in a pan. That was really tasty. And I totally suggest you to do that. When the rice was ready, we just poured it in a pot and then we cut it all the turkey or chicken, whatever it was. And then once everything was ready, we just had to put all the things together. So we make some rice and then we put salad, avocado sauce, and then those little chicken pieces with some pieces of parmesan. And then we put some nuts. And then the toasted bread, and then the sauce that my sister made, and some pumpkin seeds to end it up, and then there you have it. So now we're making desserts, and desserts in my opinion are really fun to make because they're really easy. So we're making American cookies, which I have never done before, and they're really easy actually. You just have to put some sugar and then some brown sugar, and then you pour all of them in the same bowl, and then you put some flour. Also, because I made that like months ago, I do not remember the quantities at all, so I will write them in the description box below, so that if some of you are interested, you can just see the recipe and then do it again. Now, because those biscuits are basically just made of butter, you just have to put a great quantity of melted butter in the sugar bowl, and you obviously have to mix it up. Alright, so now you have to put some baking soda and then 1 egg, and then with a strainer you have to put the flour in this bowl, but you have to pay attention to the quantity of flour that you're putting, because in the meanwhile you have to mix. So don't make it too big, just be careful because this part is pretty important so that the cookies will have a great dough. As you probably know, those cookies are known because of the chocolate chips, so you obviously have to add some, but please do not mix with a whip as we did, because as you can see it is carrying so much weight that it's really difficult to mix with it, so choose something else. Okay, so now look at how beautiful it is when it's all mixed. I think it is pretty obvious that you have to make some little balls that then you should put in the oven. I don't really know the heat and the quantity of time that you should cook them, because my oven is pretty weird, but you can see when they're cooked, because they will look like that, and I totally recommend you to do them because they are really amazing. Alright, so now we are making this orange cake. Before we start, I just wanted to tell you that this cake didn't really turn out super well, so maybe you should consider changing this recipe, but you know, I made this recipe anyways, so I was like, why should I waste this footage? So you know. So you first have to start with cutting some oranges, as you can see. I simply wanted to tell you that you should not forget, as I did, the greaseproof paper, which is really essential for making cakes. So now you'll see the recipe without that greaseproof paper, but it's really important for you to put that. Alright, so I think this clip is kind of self-explanatory. You just have to remember the greaseproof paper. So now you can see me squeezing one whole orange, but I actually needed more oranges because I had to make 250 grams of orange juice. However, I will write all the quantities in the description box so that if you want to, you can copy my cake. Then we are pouring that orange juice in this bowl, and then we are adding 10 grams of baking soda. That actually was less, so that's maybe why the cake went so horrible. And then we put 1 whole tablespoon of oil and a lot of flour, and then we put all of that mix on the oranges. Please remember the greaseproof paper. And then basically you're done. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I had really a lot of fun cooking. I really like cooking. I thought I'm not really the best sometimes, as you can see from the last recipe that I showed you in this video. But however, I totally suggest you to cook, especially in these days of quarantine. And maybe if you're interested, I could show you some recipes so that you do not have to go to the supermarket and you also can avoid wasting food, which these days is something that is really important. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that this video was, I don't know, fun or whatever to you. So see you in my next video. Bye!